6 2004 F and 18 PTK 007/PTK/2004. The provision 007 revision second PTK 2011 about the procedures for supply chain. The revision, the second revision PTK 1006 2000, the first paragraph C, and revisions slash Roman 2 and 2011, considering that the unlawful action that has been alleged to the defendant has been proven, so it has fulfilled So, considering that the nature of the violation of law has been proven, then it has been fulfilled. Then, toward the defense of the defendants, under point 96, page 111, said that the facts from the court said that Sumigita only did construction work related to bioremediation, but on the other part, defense, he also mentioned that he submitted the evidence about bioremediation activities. So considering that the defense is confusing, because on one hand the defendant did construction related to bioremediation, but also on the other hand he did bioremediation itself, and according to the description he also did bioremediation, considering that in the defense of the defendant said that should there be any dispute between BP Migas and CPI and SGG, then the resolution should be through the civil resolution as mentioned in PSC, and the panel of judges do not agree, because all violation of law, they have the criminal aspect and they have the civil aspect as well, especially if it violates the public order, which can be seen very clearly by the action of the defendants and also other people in CPI. Therefore, the state as the party which has interest can also bring this to the domain of the criminal law, and also considering that the existence of the bioremediation expert brought by the prosecutors in this court has been considered as a liar, because the defendant violated the sampling, because he already violated or conducted a violation in sampling testing. Sorry, I repeat. Because he is a liar and he did lie in sampling, and toward this witness, AGO has already done a process, so this is an unlawful violation, and considering that the panel of judges is not of the same opinion, because this is the expertise of an expert, and he has the capacity as an expert and supported by the curriculum vitae that has already been put forward to the court. So play-doh like this can be neglected or ignored. And considering that the defense of the defendants said that in the bidding procedures is at that announcement, according to defendants' announcement, the actual announcement, according to the document, was the 1st July 2008. That's why the indictment was vague. Considering, according to panel, the dates will not make the indictment vague, because the substance was there, announcement was there, so the indictment was not vague. So from the formulation, sorry, I repeat, from A2, the elements to enrich himself or also other people or one corporation, and the formulation of the second article, the elements of enriching oneself or other people, this is alternative, so it can enrich other people or himself or corporation, so it can be proven just one, and that is to enrich himself, also other people, and also a corporation. According to the big dictionary, complete dictionary of Indonesian language, rich has the definition of many assets, and from that definition, then it can be concluded that you make a person richer or a person that is poor rich. And in the proving of this principle, and this was already done by perpetrator. So enriching one person or other people can be only proven if the defendant or other people or a corporation receive a certain amount of money from the violation of law, and it can be seen from some of the decisions which were enforced by a Supreme Court decision, Supreme Court decision 27 K PIC, I repeat, slash 1983, dated 15 December 1983, in the as Natalagawa case, and the second one, Supreme Court decision K dated to January 1983 for Harinegoro Wijoyo case, alias Ngukim Kwe, and then third one, Supreme Court decision number 51 slash PIC dated 10 August in the case Yujiru Kajima case. Considering that to enrich someone or other people or corporation from the criminal action of defendant as the director of Sumigita, that based on the witness Sinfilia mentioned, among which that cost recovery for bioremediation for PT Sumigita in 2008 up to 2012 are like this: 2008 amounting to $346 in FQR report 8, line 3, service total is $23.7, where bioremediation cost is $340,000. 2009, $76,000. This is contained in FQR report 3, line 4, column actual capital, amounting to $1.9, and this is in FQR 2009 report 9, column on track service and discount of payment amounting to $4,000 in FQR 2009 report 11, column sundries C. 2010 $2.1 million FQR 2010 report line 43 about contract service discount payment amounting to 18,000, and this is in FQR 2010 in report 4, column sundries P 2011, consisting of $2.4 million included in FQR 2011 report 2, contract service discount of payment $18,000 in FQR 2011 report 11, column sundries A 2012 $240,000 in report 8, contract service discount of payment $3,000 in FQR 2011 column sundries. That the calculation of cost recovery was done between 2006 and 2012. It was reported through financial quarter report or FQR every 3 months or every quarter, where a bioremediation cost for a non-capital was calculated as cost recovery on the same fiscal year. year, and the mechanism is after the invoice, and it is booked in CPI's ledger, and CPI paid to the vendor, and total bioremediation that has been paid to Sumigita for the contract number 781 OK and C95 amounting to 6,967 US dollar after subtracted with the tax, and the witness saw the invoice kept by CPI when a witness was confirmed by CPI's legal bureau in October 2012, and the witness was also shown by the AGO when he was examined by the AGO. In the invoice, it was not mentioned about the work, but it was just the amount of invoice, and also there is this notes that the payment should be paid to Sumigita's account at BNI. And the second, Widi Nugroho, as a witness, said that the duty as a verification for progress payment for SLS Minas toward the contract, that is to verify the amount of invoice and also actual on the condition on the side. If there are two contracts with the value 6,872,000 US dollar, what he knows is the bioremediation work was done in by Sumigita in 2008 in SLS Minas with a contract C95 for September with the location Minas, and for the contracts 7-8 from the price 6.9, it was paid to Sumigita, the total 6.9 on 12th of December 2012, and the work has been completed for this contract. And for the contract C95 OK, 747,000 US dollar, it was paid to Sumigita twice, February 120,000 US dollar, and March 115,000 US dollar, and the total value is 228,126 US dollar. And in the contract C91, the remaining balance is 500,000, more or less 500,000 US dollar. It was not yet invoiced. The contract 781 OK from 6,700,000. So the amount paid is only 6,800,000, and the remaining balance, the remaining is has still remains in CPI. Why it was not paid? Only Pamuklis know, because he gave the work order, and also Rosia Amalia know this. And the remaining from from the contract C91, that was only paid 290,000. This is still at CPI. It was not yet invoiced because the witness has not verified the progress of the claim, and it was not yet invoiced by Sumigita. And the witness verified only for the invoice monthly that was submitted by Sumigita Jaya, in this case Safrul and Naraina Sena and Kristan Adesonang as the project control from Tripatra Floor, and Muklis as a construction representative from CPI, so they know the actual condition on the site, and witness never compared this with the actual condition. After they signed, then the witness signed, and the disbursement of the invoice, Sumigita sent the invoice to IMS manager and to the compliance department of CPI and to accounting or to the team leader or MS Minas CPI. And the type of the work included hauling in, bioremediation and hauling out process, and also activities according to the contract. And after the work order from CPI to Sumigita is completed, then cross out is done by Project SMS and reported to PP Migas. We're referring to the verification result provided by MS, and the payment from bioremediation to Sumigita was done in phases monthly since 2008 up to 2012. And third, Joko Waluyo, witness, mentioned that the duties and responsibilities as accounting in Jakarta, Chevron, he transferred to the third party through banking system every day, and he transferred the last invoice that was already processed by account payable for all the transaction. And according to the latest data, 20 May 2012, the total amount transferred to Sumigita for contract 781 OK, with the value of the contracts $6.9 US. It was already paid as much as 6,900.32 US dollar. So the payment for a contract with the value of the contract it has been paid $2.2 million US, and the total payment was $6.9 million US. And for this, the cost recovery was calculated by Team CPI, and Sumigita was already doing this, and this has been approved. And witness knows that there are 3 AFEs. The first one, 6607, $750,000 US. The second one, AFE, with the total amount of $2,400,000 US, and the third one, AFE, to amount and for crude oil, and also for the work was done by Sumigita with WPNB, and to do this, 85% for Sumigita upon one invoice from Sumigita to CPI. And the total payment made to Sumigita was $6.9 million US after deducted with PPH 23. And the second one, invoice from Sumigita to CPI. There are 2 invoices, 24th of February, $1.3 million US, and the 2nd of April, amounting to $112.393 US, and for C95 amounting to $221.321 US after deducted with tax, and in this case BP Migas. The mechanism for cost recovery is PT CPI. For the data, sorry, it's not clear at all. And the evidence, the first one, for the invoice 35 since the 5th November 2011 up to 30th December 2011. The second one, invoice for C for the contract, and 2 invoices, both of them on the in February 2012. Considering all those testimony and evidence, we conclude that the defendant, as the winner of the bidding project to do bioremediation for bioremediation for CPI, and in relation to the appointment as sorry. It was signed by Jeffrey as the executive from CPI and Herland with the amount 7.2 million US dollar, with the implementation period between September up to 30th of August. And toward this contract, the CPI has paid the contract to Sumigita, to the BNI Bank Pekanbaru, to this account number using the US dollar currency rate. And it was signed by Abdul Fattah as the general manager of CPI, and the contract value was 7.2 million US dollar, with the contract validity 6 months for SLS CPI. And toward the implementation of this contract, of the work of this contract, and also toward the bridging contract, Sumigita has already received the payment and the mechanism of the CPI, and Sumigita Jaya has obtained approval, and the invoice and it was deposited to BNI account of PT Sumigita. The authorization was done also by the defendant. And for contract, in December, the CPI already made payment to Sumigita with a total payment of 6.8 million US dollar, while for the contract 7.1, it was already paid to 8.221 US dollar. It was already verified by CPI, and it was already deposited to the account of Sumigita Jaya Pekanbaru, where authorization was done by the director, and that is the defendant. So payment has been received by the defendant, and that is for the payment of the two contracts amounting to 6.9 million US dollar, 6.9 million US dollar. And the payment was deposited 6.9 million US dollar from CPI to Sumigita, to the account of Sumigita, and it was done through the cost recovery mechanism arising from the PSC contract between CPI and Sumigita. And the payment received, that is for the payment of the contract and the bridging contract, procurement has violated PTK 007, PTK 6 about the management of the contract coordination, cooperation, and also for bridging contract. 29th of February 2012, which was signed by defendants together with Bakhtiar Fattah and CPI as the producer of this waste. And from KLH, this is violating the ministerial decree number 128 about the procedures to treat the hazardous and waste. And Sumigita so it's 6.9 million US dollar. It amounted 6.9 million US dollar from CPI for state laws element. It shows that there is the elements that was And state loss, according to the elements, is not absolute to have happened, and it can also be applied to the state loss that has not been occurred, but the potential is there to bring state loss. What is meant by the financial state? Second, within the state, so the definition of the state loss is everything that can be assessed from the point of view of money, and also state loss. And first article that is to refer to the asset of the state that is managed by one party, and what is meant by expenditure of the state is this is based so the management of this is for the optimal benefit of the people, and considering the testimonies and of these witnesses related to the work amounting to $6.9 million US, it was already calculated as cost recovery, and CPI has already made the payments, and that is against the invoices sent by Sumigita, and the bioremediation work has been paid by CPI as a cost recovery, and the lifting of oil has been included in the non-capital that can be charged at the end of the year. Jennifer Sinaga mentioned that the bioremediation of CPI that was implemented since 2006 and 2012, that to calculate the state loss related to bioremediation work. So the state has been burdened with this, the invoice has been sent by Sumigita and has been paid by CPI. So there is one invoice dated to December, and up to the total payment was $6.6 million US after deducted by the tax, and two invoice for contract C9. There are two invoice for 24 of February, 1.7 million US, and the second one 112,000 US, and the total invoice for contract C95 221.771 US, and the payment has led to state loss, and there is this letter that if there is a dispute between CPI, it was already so the state loss has already occurred. So actually the state should not spend the money that is not according to the objective of this expenditure, because the contract about the contract of services contract breaching contract number C95 December 2000 for the services for bioremediation in SLS. The reports for state financial 125/2 9 November 2012 was signed by Jennifer Sinaga, CSE, SFE, CFRE as the responsible person, Bamarisano Aka as the technical supervisor, and as the head Hasorongan and Tebebo SA and Mustaqdis SA. Each of one is the member of the team, and the reports of this dated 25th of July. It was signed by Disan Effendi and Prayitno and Bambang. Considering the witness testimony, then the state loss has been proven. The contract, Chevron Pacific Indonesia, CPI, is one of the contractors based on under the PSC, production sharing contract, and with the validity period. And they can make exploration and exploitation endorsed already by the BP Megas, and under this agreement there will be production sharing, and Republic of Indonesia will get the equity 85%, and and at the end of the fiscal year, all the calculations are going to be calculated against the cost recovery mechanism, and all the costs that have been spent by the contractor will be calculated. But the mechanism for the PSC between CPI is as follows. The contractor sends a quarterly report in the financial quarterly report per 3 months, and revenue that was already it was reported, the lifting and gross revenue subtracted by substance petroleum 20% share, and this is calculated in the cost recovery, and gross revenue subtracted by cost recovery is the equity to be split, and the percentage is going to be split as set forth in PSC, and equity to split is from the purchase from the sales and of oil, and is deposited directly to the account of the state, and the fourth FQR can see include the evaluation and the bioremediation cost that has been done by CPI amounted to 9.9 million US dollar, or 9.9 million US dollar. 9,900,210 US dollar, according to the calculation of state loss number SR /02/2012, 9th November, for the allegation of the bioremediation project, and this has been paid to Herland Bin Ompo, amounting to 9.9 US dollar, 6.9 million US dollar after deducted with tax. And bioremediation project as SLS Minas done 208 up to 2012. It was signed by the defendant as the director of Sumigita, and it was done through the bidding procedure, which violated PTK 007 about the supply chain of contractor, and also the work as CPI and Sumigita, they both did not have the license. And bidding contract C911 signed by defendant, it was signed as, so the claim was that the company did what is under the scope of his this company, or actually the business license for the treatment of waste is not something that Sumigita has. And toward the payment that was already accepted by Sumigita for all the contracts for the payment for the 2 contracts amounting to $6.9 million that is obtained is actually unlawful action, and this is actually the state loss, and this has led to the state financial loss. And also a report from BPKP, as mentioned in the report dated 9 November 2012 about the suspicion of the bioremediation work, and the amount was $6.9 million after deducted by tax. This is an inappropriate work that violates the law and lead to financial state loss amounting to $6.9 million. And considering that based on the description that Herland has already received this amount of money, $6.9 million from CPI, then we can say that the elements that state loss happened, this has been proven. And in relation to and DG budget has already suspended 9.9 million from the 24 million that has to be paid to CPI. And at that time, the bioremediation work was already completed, and it was the money that was paid was not according to the initial objective. And Article 55 from the Criminal Procedure Law, then the seizure happened because it was not possible for the defendant to just to do this there was this principle of and this proven by this book. There are 2 principles. The first, there should be offset together to do an unlawful action together. And the second, another book that says, don't assume that there is a cooperation between the perpetrators, and if there is a strong cooperation, we don't see this one by one, but we see it as the whole action done together, and we have to look at the participation of each of the participants in this crime. And third reference is Professor Satoshi Sit, and this is the compilation of lectures. He said that if someone fulfills all the elements of criminal act, then he does not do it himself, but he asks other people to do it. Fourth, Mr. Sasna, in the principles of criminal law, a co-perpetrator or meditator is someone who is together with other people do certain activity, illegal activity, and the criminal action then has a different degree of severity. So Mr. Blatter does not fulfill all the elements of a criminal action, but this is the thoughts of Professor Kansil Esha, published by Mediata Publisher. And 5, another book, and participation of that person, if that person is not or does not if you see it from one, if there is only one element that is fulfilled, then the whole participants can be, in this case, the indictment towards Chevron Pacific is not just done by the defendant Herland Bin Ompo. And so an unlawful act can be done simultaneously with the unlawful action, and that is done through participation or support by other parties. So the defendant has signed the bridging contract in November 2012, entered into with SCPI to conduct ex situ bioremediation according to Ministerial Decree number 128, along with the licenses that were already issued by Ministry of Environment, but the license was actual at that time already expired, but extension application was already ongoing. Third, Kuku Kartasaputra mentioned that there are two requirements from the SBFs, from the 5 SBFs. So samples should be taken and should be transported to a stockpile. In Minas, which has been previously determined by a team headed by the witness as one of the member of the production team from CPI, and it was transported by the in a truck, and it was and the location of SBF EGS Kota Batak for SLS, considering that the legal facts have already proven the unlawful action by defendant, the director of PT Sumitagaya, and the witness Widodo also participated at the meeting, and with Herland Bin Ompo, he knew that, or he knows that his company does not have the qualification to treat waste, but he still participated at the procurement process for doing bioremediation work conducted by CPI, and they even become the winner for this. And for the contract, it was actually violating the contract, the PTK, and also for bioremediation done under contract C91 signed by Herland Bin Ompo, the defendant, together with SLS Minister General Manager from CPI, according to the ministerial decree for bioremediation, according to Article 140 about treatment of toxic and hazardous waste. So those are the samples that has to be taken to the SBF stockpiles, which has been determined by a team, SLS Minas, chaired by Kuku sorry. an allocation for SLS Minas, and then the mixing was done, and also adding of fertilizer, Senkos. Using a certain formula of the ratio comparison between TPH C and N, 100 to 5 to 1. And after that, then hauling out is done to the spreading area. Considering that the defendant, the director of Sumigita, we can say that the unlawful action has been proven, and considering that in doing the lifting, there are three things. The first one, there should be a deliberate intention to do one thing, and then and considering that based on the testimony of the witnesses, that witnesses said that before the year 2008, they heard that the Sumigita already did work for Tripatra, and between 2008 and now, the Sumigita became the contractor, direct contractor of CPI, and they have quality analysis, they have environmental control of PT Sumigita by the contract 781 OK for the work from 2008 for the 5 SPF 8D 72, 8D, and for C29, and also for Kota Batak. And to this contract, there have been 2 amendments to the contract, C123 and